All right, welcome back to the channel. I wanted to take a moment. I meant to do this last week and just ran out of time, but I wanted to sort of open up the curtains to show you behind the scenes of viral videos. Now, I have not had many on my new Retired Me channel, but I've had two that are now the top two videos. And I'm just going to show you very quickly what the pros are for those viral videos, and then maybe not negatives, but sort of the things that keep you grounded without getting your head too big. So I have two videos here. One is my latest video on, it's called I Took Way Too Long to Learn This. One thing that could have changed, or could have transformed my life. That video now has 654,000 views, as you can see, almost 655,000. It's got 61,400 hours of watch time, and it's added 19,500 subscribers to my channel. So when I'm sitting at 84,000 subscribers, you can see that last jump came from this video. We're going to talk about that again in a minute. And this video has produced about $3,800 in revenue over the course of its lifetime. I don't get that every month, but over the course that it's been there, and it's still generating some income every month. That's the beauty of YouTube. The other video that I want to show you here is the very first one. How do you get rid of all that stuff? This was the very first viral video I had. You'll see it has 1.2 million views. It's roughly 2.5 years old now. It has almost 80,000 watch time hours, and it added 26,500 subscribers. Now, this is where I want you to think for just a minute. 25,000, 19,000. That's 44,000. You raise that up a little bit. It's between 44,000, 45,000 subscribers from two videos on a channel that has 84,000 subscribers. Half of my subscriber base, half, comes from two videos. That's it. Doesn't matter how many other videos I have online. If I didn't have these two videos, I would still be sitting back here at about 30 or 40,000 subscribers, which is nothing to sneeze at. But this is what, I do have this goal of getting to 100,000 subscribers just for the vanity's sake. I mean, it does nothing for me as far as revenue. We'll talk about that in a minute. This video has generated in 2.5 years almost $6,000 in revenue, and it's still generating, $15 or $20 a month. I mean, it's still being viewed all this time later. So these are the things I want us to concentrate on. This one, which is the latest one, and because it's the one that has, it's the closest to when I'm making this video. I want you to notice out of that 654, almost 655,000 views, that comes from almost 10 million impressions. 10 million. So people have seen it on their screen 10 million times. And only 5% of those people actually clicked through to watch the video. And I think this is where it kind of helps bring you back down to earth. That 650,000 views is huge. It's absolutely huge. But it's minuscule compared to what it could have been. And I don't know what the averages are for videos. I don't know if you have a channel, I don't know what your average, click-through rate is. But 5% is it's pretty average, I think, for me. If I go back over here to reach, my very first video has been seen by almost 16 million people, and it still has a 5.2% click-through rate. So, 5.1, 5.2, roughly the same. Not really much different. It's just had longer online to get those views. Okay. So, 2.5 years from now, this video, my latest video, what I wish I'd known, it can have 1.2 million views. I mean, it's still growing. If we look at engagement, you will see that this video is 21 and a half minutes long, and the average view length is 5.5 minutes. So out of that 650,000 views, people are not watching they're not watching the whole video. They're getting bored. They're leaving. Now, this is even more difficult, I think, to view when you look down here at this little thing right here. 74% of viewers are still watching after 30 seconds. That means that a little over 170,000 people clicked on this video, watched 30 seconds or less, and clicked off. 170,000 people were bored, did not like the content. And you can see in here, this gray area is the average number of people still watching at certain lengths. And this video is less and less and less. So even at 650,000 views, overall, people are watching this video less than most of my videos. Which again, kind of brings you back down to earth to say, 650,000 views. Woo-hoo! But then you think it's being viewed a whole lot less than normal. And then you think, oh, well, okay. If I go back over to my very first video on engagement, you'll see there that video is only 10 minutes. I was trying to keep things to 10 minutes back then. I was really, really trying. You don't have any mid-roll ads until you get to at least 8 minutes. So, there's a few ads here. We'll show you ads in a minute. But even out of that 10 minutes, the average view rate was only 4 minutes. Now that's about 40%. And over here with this video, let's go back up here. This is about 25%. So I had more people watching longer on this original video. Video length could have something to do with it. The topic obviously can have something to do with it. But I think I have a clue as to why this is. If I come down here, again, you'll see that 67% of viewers are still watching at the 30-second mark. I haven't done the math, but, that's 40% or 30% of viewers. 30% of 1.2 million is, between around 350,000, I think, just off the top of my head. Remember, I'm not a mathematician. But that's 350,000 people watched this video and couldn't get through the first 30 seconds. Again, this just sort of brings you back down to earth to look at some things. Where I really see a difference, let me go back over here. And you'll notice up here in the upper left-hand corner is the thumbnail. So if you ever get confused about what video I'm talking about, just look up there. It'll show you. But if I go to audience, let me come back over to this one first. If I go to audience on my very first viral video, 2.5 years old, and I come down here, you'll see that 60%, 61% of my viewers are women and 39% are men. My channel is about 50-50 on most videos, but because this is strictly talking about decluttering and get rid of things, that's a video that appeals more to women. But if you'll look down here, this is where the real difference is. The people who are watching my video are 45 years and older, and the largest group is 65 years and older, because I'm talking to people my age. That doesn't surprise me. These are the people that I try to gear most of my videos toward, talking about living in retirement, talking about decluttering, talking about travel, all these kinds of things. I have this age group in mind. Okay. If I look over here to this latest video and I come down to audience, you'll see that almost 80% of the viewers are men. Women were not interested in this video. Now, maybe that's because men have more regrets about life than women do. I don't know. I can't speak to that. But if you come down here, you will see that the largest bulk of viewers are not in the viewership of my channel. 25 to 44 is the bulk of the viewers. They're not interested in videos on retirement or videos on solo travel after retirement or on decluttering or minimalist lifestyle. They're not interested in that. They clicked through to this video, something about the title. Maybe it's the look on my face. I don't know. I do find that the titles where I have more of a negative look, here I'm looking sort of perplexed, or flummoxed is a good word. Those thumbnails get clicks more than if I'm sitting here smiling. That's something about our psyche. I don't know, but I don't cater to that kind of thumbnail. I don't try to generate that just to get clicks. This one just happened to fit. So this video, while it's got 650,000 views, is not doing anything for me as far as future videos. These people could care less about my future videos. Even the 19,000 that subscribed are not going to find a lot of stuff in what I post that's of interest to them. So now if we come up here to revenue, just a couple of quick things about revenue. Again, this is my latest video. It's made $3,800. And if you'll come down here, there are two things I want you to look at. One is on the left-hand side here at the bottom. How much do advertisers pay? They pay $14.69 per 1,000 views. Okay? So for every 1,000, YouTube collects $14.69. If you look over here to the right under video performance, it has revenue per 1,000. This is the RPM, is $5.90. So I get $5.90 for every 1,000 views. So when I make a video that only gets 1,000 views, I'm making about $5 or $6. That's pretty normal for this niche. Okay. If I look at this other video, my original video, you'll see that the advertisers paid $16.84 per 1,000 views, and YouTube has paid me $5.02. So it's not a standard amount per video. It changes based on what the advertisers are willing to pay. It changes based on the number of views. I can tell you that, and this is just anecdotal, I'm pretty sure that I'm correct in this, but I was getting a higher RPM early on in the video, and now that the video has a life and some legs, and it's not getting very many views in a month, that's gone down because advertisers are not being seen nearly as much in a month. If I'm only getting 400 or 500 views every month, which is still a lot of views, but it's not the 20,000 views I got right off the bat. Okay. So the RPM, both the CPM, cost per million, and the RPM, the revenue that comes to me, or per thousand, the revenue that comes to me per thousand changes from video to video. Now, let me just show you one other thing here before we get gone, and that is this video. If I come down here to monetization, you'll see that I have ads turned on. And if I manage the ad roll slots, you will see that there's a box here that says automatic ad slots. I've unchecked that. Okay. And once a video shows me that it's going to start taking off, I will usually go in and uncheck that box. Let me show you why. These are the slots that YouTube chooses and says, we may or may not show an ad here, but our AI tool has indicated there's a break here where we think that if we put an ad here for a particular viewer with a particular identity, online identity, they will keep watching through the video and keep watching through the ad, keep watching your video. That means I have the potential of making a lot more money because they might show 2 ads to the same person. They could show 5 ads to the same person. But if I click this off, this is where I chose to keep ads, just 3. Okay. One of them comes at the intro. So they've watched the first 30 seconds to a minute. The intro comes on. Maybe they see an ad. And then I've got 2 other spots, and I'm trying to keep them down the road so that people watch more of the video before they're going to be interrupted again. If I come over here to the very first video, now keep in mind, the latest video is 21 minutes. This one's only 10 minutes. If I come down to monetization and I click on manage ad slots, again, you'll see that I don't have that box clicked. Somewhere along the line, I decided that I would allow YouTube to show fewer ads. I already made money on the video. I didn't need to make a ton more money. I just want to make it easier to watch. But if I put this back, this is what YouTube started showing. This is where I made the most money, was with these kinds of spots. Now, again, keep in mind, this doesn't mean YouTube's going to show an ad every time there's a marker. It just means this is a place YouTube has identified that it could show an ad. It depends on you as to what you do with ads. If you get an ad early in a video and you click off the video, you don't watch anymore, YouTube's going to show you an ad farther down the line. If you typically get through the first ad and you keep watching, YouTube may show you another ad at some point, or they may not. It all depends on you, not on me. So by unclicking this, I've just said, you know what, there's fewer opportunities to interrupt the video. Do with that what you will, Mr. YouTube, and we'll go from there. So you can see that, is there anything else I'm going to show you here? I don't think so. These are the kinds of things that happen with viral videos. Okay. So let me just quickly, let's go back into channel content here. And just quickly, I think I want to go back to the very first page. So here is the latest video that I did. Retired, you got more time left. So let's just go look at a couple of things. Okay. It's gotten 1,400 views. It's made a total of $11. Okay. That's pretty typical for things on my channel. 1,400 to 3,000 views is pretty much the average. Okay. It only got me 1 new subscriber. I'm not bothered with how people found it, but if I go to reach, you'll see that it had 25,000 impressions. The click-through rate is only 3.5%. It was 5% on the viral videos. It's 3.5% here. Okay. And here's an interesting stat. Unique viewers is 1,000. Well, what does that mean? That means that out of 1,400 views, about 400 people decided to watch it twice. And I appreciate that. I do. You can watch it 50,000 times for all I care. But it just means that I didn't reach as many people as I thought I did. I didn't reach 1,400 people. I reached 1,000 people. If I come to engagement, You'll see down here that 71% are still watching at the 30-second mark. That's pretty normal for my channel, 70 to 73%. I don't, there are people online that tell you should do this, and this to get people to keep watching. I don't pay any attention to that. People watch what they want to watch, and I just let the chips fall where they may. The audience for this particular video, again, you see where it falls? Down here with my regular viewers, somewhere between 45, very few, and over 65. That's the normal viewing pattern for this channel. And again, 72% women, only 28% men. Now that one I don't know, but I don't know. I have a face for radio, but people say that they like listening to my voice. Maybe that's the women thing. I don't know. You can tell me. And then on revenue, if you'll come down here, you'll see that it's paying $16.55 per thousand to YouTube, and I'm getting $9.32. That's pretty good. That will go down over time. As the video gets older, it will go down over time. At least I think it will. And so if I come down here in monetization and I show you the ad slots, you'll notice I still have YouTube doing its AI ad slots. And so there are 4 spots here. I didn't think that was too much. So anyway, if you've got questions about YouTube, if you've got questions about what all this means and what it means for you, if you have a channel, or if you haven't looked at some of these analytics before and you're trying to figure it all out, feel free to leave me a comment. I know this video has gone on way longer than I intended, but it is what it is. And just think how many ad slots this video will have for the 300 people that actually watch it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.